I know probably a lot of you watching this are just on your phones and you're like, bro, I'm not turning my computer on to play your shitty game. Look, that's fine. Enjoy this gameplay.
Are you ready to work?
I'm like a streamer now, I guess. In my first video, Nick and I followed GameMaker Toolkit's tutorial to recreate Flappy Bird in Unity. This was basically an overall introduction to game dev, taking us from absolute noobs to actual beginners with a basic understanding of the Unity engine and editor, as well as C#, Unity's programming language. We immediately started brainstorming our first actual game, so like an idea that we came up with together and something that we could complete without relying on any particular tutorial. We followed the common advice of starting with something extremely simple, not adding anything extra, not worrying too much about how it looks. Our only real metric of success was finishing the project, and honestly it was kind of a bonus if the game turned out to actually be fun. So I forgot to screen record us illustrating this stunning and visionary concept art, but basically it's you, the player, running around and collecting little bits of paper as they are shot out randomly from this thing in the middle, and having to file the papers into the correct corners while avoiding annoying NPCs and most importantly your boss. So continuing to riff on our disillusionment with our 9-to-5s, it's basically a dull corporate office setting, and the 4 paper deposits are accounting, marketing, sales, and honestly I don't remember what E stands for. Ultimately it just became HR. In any case, obviously that has no impact on gameplay, we're just being silly. So yeah, we started working on it, did that for a few hours each week over roughly 6 weeks, and I'm excited to show you what we've done. I'm not going to go over every detail, it's probably not that interesting, and it's mostly still pretty basic stuff that we kind of covered while making our Flappy Bird clones. So what I will say here is that repetition is obviously how you learn. Repetition equals results, and that's been true for as long as I can remember learning or practicing anything. There were many times went back to look at CheeseBiz and copy and pasted code straight out of that, or rewatched bits of GMTK's tutorial to solve a problem in this game. So obviously sometimes that repetition can feel tedious. You know, you might have done something in one place and then you'll be doing another course or tutorial or whatever, and then you're being asked to do the same thing again. Just do it. Follow the instructions until the thing is stuck in your head and you can do it yourself. Because I promise that will eventually happen and it will feel great. There were several times here when we were able to just write the correct line of code from the top of our head and it worked, and we realized, oh, we actually know how this works because I guess we're actually learning. And that is an extremely satisfying feeling that I hope you can find in whatever it is that you're doing.
Alright, wait, hold on.
It's so discouraging.
It's collected. Oh, this isn't triggering.
Is that the one you're holding though?
I'm actually not sure. Oh, it is. Why? It was just working.
Man, I can't stomach this. This
Wait,
is so
why are you being so
discouraging.
negative?
No,
Why are you
jokes.
being so negative? Talking about, we just had it working.
I know.
You can fix this.
It's just like, why? It was just working. Okay. It doesn't make sense. Okay, now positive. Range at the start. It's not randomizing each time.
NG.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay, so it's...
Go bump. Amazing. Now. Oh.
Alright. Actually, I'm gonna call my boss.
I'm calling them right now. I'm on the phone.
Dude!
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. Remember when you were being so negative like literally 3 minutes ago? Fuck, Kenji, we figured it out.
That is the journey.
That's so satisfying.
I can't believe it.
That's so satisfying.
I actually can't believe it.
And I feel like, okay, we also just like coded that like without ChatGPT. Like we fixed that problem without ChatGPT.
Yeah, I feel pretty achieved.
The other kind of big thing, which I think I'll probably make a whole video on eventually, is like, where does AI sit in, you know, the kind of evolving workflow of a beginner developer? For this project, we definitely did use ChatGPT for both specific troubleshooting as well as broader problem solving. And there were a handful of times where we did just copy and paste code directly out of ChatGPT. Yeah, like I said, I think I will make a video about this topic because I do have conflicting feelings about using AI for writing code or making games more broadly. It kind of feels like cheating, but I also do think there is some value, some use there. The main thing we did here to limit our use was we would first try to solve the problem ourselves, which actually just means using the ancient technology of Googling the problem and learning from the millions of coders that came before us who have encountered and solved the same or similar problems. As a programmer, you're basically never figuring something out by yourself. This might sound stupid, but when you have the allure of AI sitting there, but you want to be like, no, I'll do it myself, you might actually just forget that it is totally okay to Google a problem. That is not cheating. That is how programmers have been learning and programming for generations. This might just be a symptom of my own brain rot, like obviously just Google it, but I definitely did find myself forgetting to do that sometimes, so I just wanted to make that point.
Bro, just vibe code it.
Vibe coding.
Fuck it.
The times where we did struggle to find a workable answer on Google and chose to copy and paste ChatGPT's response directly, and again, we were honestly just being kind of lazy and impatient. We always read the code together line by line to make sure we understood everything it was doing and how it was doing it. And whatever we didn't understand, we would use Google or read the documentation until it made sense. I think if you're serious about learning how to code and are going to use AI, that should kind of be the bare minimum. Otherwise, I think you're just hindering your own learning. And honestly, moving forward, I don't really want to use ChatGPT for problem solving like that at all. At the same time, ChatGPT definitely did help a lot as a troubleshooter. So say you've come up with and implemented a solution through Googling and so on, but it's still not working as expected. You could try describing your problem to ChatGPT or whatever, and instead of asking for a solution, ask for a list of things to check. So it might just be something simple you've missed, like assigning a single variable here or unticking a checkbox somewhere. Situations like that to me feel more reasonable, as if the AI is more of a helpful guide nudging you in the right direction. Another general thing I want to mention, again, this could probably be an entire video on its own, is this idea of finding the fun, as well as the equally nebulous concept of game feel, which is basically all those little bits of feedback and finesse that make your game feel responsive and enjoyable to play. So yeah, I totally agree with the general advice of getting to a working prototype as quickly as possible to make sure there's actually something fun worth pursuing. Definitely, I think, yeah, do that. In our case here, though, I honestly don't think we were too focused on finding the fun. Our main goal was actually just to complete a project together. And the fun was more for us really in the challenge of figuring out and realizing the simple game idea that we had planned at the start. That being said, I definitely underestimated the impact of some of those seemingly surface level changes. So for us, it was actually when we switched out the colored balls that we'd been using for the majority of the game's development into actual colored bits of paper, and added little scrunchy sound effects when picking up or depositing those papers. Even though the core mechanics of the game were working at that stage, it was these two additions alone that actually made us say, this is kind of fun. It was immensely rewarding and kind of fascinating, really, arriving at those moments where the game actually starts to feel like a game. Adding simple NPCs, a score counter, most importantly, the boss's behavior, all also contributed to that feeling as well. Just some specific things that we learned. So obviously these balls are being spawned. In Unity, this is called instantiating. We have a paper being instantiated and then pushed outwards with an add force, which is acting on the paper's rigid body with a randomized velocity in a randomized direction. The paper itself is also being randomly selected out of an array of 4 possible papers. An array is basically just a collection of the same data type. In this case, it's a prefab or a prefabricated game object. The NPCs are also moving with a bit of randomness. So Unity has a function called random.range that does all of that randomization. You just have to define the range. Probably one of the most complicated parts of the game is your boss character. Basically, your boss doesn't like there to be too much paper on the floor. So you have to be quick, run around and file the papers. As the unfiled papers accumulate, your boss gets increasingly angry. So we needed a solution for incrementally changing the state of the boss depending on how many papers were on screen. So one of the most basic structures in any programming language is an if statement. So you can imagine, say, if unfiled papers is greater than 10, boss equals anger level 1, let's say, and so on, where anger level 1 is defined elsewhere as whatever you want. But you can imagine if you had, like, say 10 anger levels or more, or any other unforeseen complexity down the line, you could do it with a bunch of if statements, but your code might start to get a little bit confusing and unreadable. So this is where switches come in. It's basically, you can imagine like a train track with multiple possible branches, and the script can like go down a different path depending on a particular condition, in this case the number of unfiled papers. Yeah, honestly, just with that handful of concepts, you could definitely make a whole lot of fun. Like I said last time, I'm still figuring out the style of these videos, you know, I mean, I think it will continue to be somewhere in between the kind of practical stuff and the actual progress, alongside, I guess, you know, what I'm thinking and feeling as I'm learning. But if anyone is interested in, you know, I guess that more technical, like, devlog style video, you know, here's what I'm actually learning and how I'm implementing it specifically. I don't know, maybe leave a comment or whatever. I'm obviously still massive beginner and I definitely don't feel in any position to teach anyone anything. But you know, sometimes scrolling YouTube, you're trying to find people that are kind of like at the same, you know, same point in the journey, and it can sometimes feel a little bit discouraging because everyone's, you know, like so far ahead. But you know, you have to obviously start somewhere. So anyway, I mean, for now, honestly, I just kind of I'm just trying to like make these videos quickly, you know. I mean, we've literally already started the next thing. Like we finished this, we finished this, we're like a week plus into the next thing we're doing, and I'm just like, oh, gotta go make the YouTube video now. You know, I mean, obviously I started two things at the same time, you know, game dev and YouTube, and I don't want these videos to like fall too far behind my actual progress. Man, my back is like exploding, man. My back really fucking hurts right now. Okay, the actual progress. So yeah, sorry if this video feels a little bit rushed. Sorry if it's not that interesting, nothing that philosophical. I can say I don't have a gambling addiction anymore. I feel slightly more fulfilled in my life. Obviously because I'm spending my free time on something that I enjoy and it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to learning more. I'm actually looking forward to learning more. And I was not looking forward to shit like a month ago, so well done. Like, go learn something. We're bloody human beings, like go learn something. If you have something you're interested in, go learn it. Go learn something. Like you have the internet, like you can learn whatever the heck you want. Like it can feel overwhelming, but just like pick something and learn it. Like it's freaking free. Like I haven't spent any money on this shit yet. That's a lie. I bought this book, it's $50. Okay, last bit really quick before I show you the game. Sorry for the audio quality in this next part. I was working on this video when I realized I had to stop and get up and make dinner and not perish. So I was actually just in the kitchen chopping some carrots, and I had another thought that I wanted to get down quickly. So I just voice recorded it on my phone, thinking I would rewrite and record it properly later. But I can't be fucked. And also, I do think I like the idea of all of this sometimes having a rough edge. So yeah. Din 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 din. Oh yeah, maybe you should listen to it on this. That'd be a cool effect. So the other thing I want to say really quick is, yeah, like I feel much less depressed than I did 1 month ago or 2 months ago or whenever this whole thing started. And like, it's obvious to say, but like if you have creativity within you, like please just express it. Like it doesn't matter if what you make isn't like perfect or complete, or like it's so silly to spend years with something inside of you and just like denying yourself the joy of creating something. Like whatever you do, it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be complete. It doesn't have to make money. It doesn't have to impress anyone. Like literally just shit it out, please. Because it'll make you feel better and it will give you direction. And also, like, I still have so many things in my head. I'm like, oh, but like, what about video? Like, what about like filmmaking more broadly, or what about like music production, or like, what about like, and it's like, I had all of that in me for years, and I just like picked one thing. I picked, okay, game design, and like, it feels better. Like all of those feelings of like, oh, but what about drawing, what about music? Like I feel like there's a movement towards all of that now. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like if you have like several creative ideas within you, it's better to be doing a creative thing at all than to not be doing them at all. And you will feel a movement towards the creativity, which will like, all of those feelings will bubble inside you still. You might have all these different ideas of like, oh, I could be good at music if I just committed to it. Oh, I could be good at video if I could be good at art, illustrating if I just committed time to it. and you just like you end up with like so many what ifs that you actually don't end up doing anything at all. And so what I'm saying is, it's better to just pick something and start doing it, and actually the creative force that like inspires all of those what ifs will actually be practiced and kind of will come out in whatever thing you do. And like all the kind of obvious stuff that people say, like if you start doing it, you might realize you're not that good at it, and it might end you up on a path where you find the real thing. You know, it's like, it's actually immensely arrogant to sit back and just be like, oh, I could be good at this if I just committed to it. It's like, you actually you actually don't know that, and no one gives a shit. Like literally nobody cares about your what ifs. Like yeah, I mean, I know this is like obvious and probably a lot of people have already figured this out, but like I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. And like, yeah, I'm only like 2 months into like my creative journey. Well, that's not even true, you know. This, like I said, this has been bubbling for a long time. But like, you know, like it needs to be said. Like, if you have something inside of you, just bloody get it out, whatever it is. And you don't know what it is, so you have to try to find out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listening to that back, like, I'm sure this doesn't need to be said, but that's basically just me yelling at an earlier version of myself. So please don't feel singled out or anything. Unless you did need to hear it, in which case, you know, finishing watching this video, go and do your shit. Okay, that's enough. Here's our game. File the paper. Please enjoy. I'm gonna actually move this so this video doesn't become 200 hours long. I think this is it. Man, this is too much to do. Oh, you need to screen record this. Oh, this is so complicated. How do streamers do it? There's like so many bloody things going on. I need to screen record. I need to make sure the audio is coming through. I think I need to put it on a different screen, like here. So yeah, we did actually add gamepad control. I'd say this is the recommended way to play the game. It is the only way I was able to reach my personal high score of 54, which if you can beat, I promise I will dedicate a game to you. Just like, well, literally whatever you want. So yeah, sorry, there's still no mobile support. I know probably a lot of you watching this are just on your phones and you're like, bro, I'm not turning my computer on to play your shitty game. Look, that's fine. Just enjoy this game. Enjoy this gameplay.
Are you ready to work?
I'm like a streamer now, I guess. There will be another video. Like I said, we've already started working on the next game, and it's actually quite fun already. I mean, I'm not going to talk it up, but yeah, we're having fun. The next game's coming. Thank you to everyone who has been watching and subscribing, liking, all of that stuff. I read all 9 of your comments, and I enjoyed each one. No, seriously, it is really kind and nice that anyone at all is interested in this little journey that I'm on. So thank you for watching. I hope it's entertaining. I hope you're learning. Maybe. I don't know why you're watching this.
What you were doing here.
So why is this one not filing? Okay, so yeah, I mean, obviously we have, you know, the Honourable Peter Dutton, former leader of the opposition. When we did this, he had just been absolutely smashed in the federal election, so I guess we just wanted to put some respect on his name, you know. The papers throwing is actually, that's where the strategy is. Oh, and also these little special bottles, they seem to help, so I'm just gonna pick those up when I need them.
I like what you were doing here.
He likes it. He likes to talk shit. Depending again on that anger state thing. It changes the sprite, obviously, and it plays one of 2 random, it randomly selects one of 2 voice clips, audio clips, which are actually all AI generated. It's actually quite scary. I mean, that really sounds like it, I reckon. This run's going pretty well. I mean,
what is going on here?
If I can get a high score on stream, chat. Because, whatever. Oh shit.
Just another case of cultural Marxism.
Okay, so yeah, when he gets too many papers, he enters this freaking scary chase mode. Oh! Okay, we need to go. Freaking NPCs, man. Okay, I think I'll do one more. No, that's it. Oh no! This run sucks. Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Out of hand.
He's right, yeah. This is it. I can't. Okay, I didn't do one more. I could not be bothered. And my phone is like on fire and my back is in pain. I did a bunch, but they were all just as bad. Try and beat 54. Thanks for watching. Okay, come. And just in case I get so famous that someone's like, how did you get that shot? Got this ridiculous, cheap, bendy arm thing from freaking AliExpress or something, and is so jankily clasping. Yeah, I mean, this is my desk, obviously. Just wanted to get a simple shot above my head, but that was not simple at all. It was literally daytime when I started this. I had some really nice natural light. Now we got some nice sunset vibes, but yeah, goodness. That was an effort. Okay.